But hey, that's Chris Conte. If he doesn't mind, we don't mind either. That's his choice, not ours. Power to you, bro. More sports talk after this, including our topic du jour. One man's t-shirt protest causing the ire of an entire police department. No, this isn't St. Louis. You won't believe where. Stay tuned. This is the Afternoon Locker Room presented by Gigahertz and only on the Arena Sports Network.
Looking for a reason to visit U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana? Our customers gave us 5 of them. The high standards of quality service and parts, lifetime warranties, a strong business built on honesty and integrity. They've been servicing the Gary community since 1991 and the largest auto and light truck tire dealer in the city of Gary, Indiana. We have a variety of products and services that are instrumental to the health of your car, including our tire fitment guide to help you find the correct size tires for your automobile. Our friendly service staff will quickly outfit your vehicle with a high-quality tire that is right for you. Check out our tire and wheel catalog to give your vehicle the perfect fit. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 219-884-4600 or visit us online at www.ustire-auto.com.
Back here on the Afternoon Locker Room presented by Gigahertz, and that's where we come in. Alvin Washington in the building. Last call for you to get in on the hotline, 573-200-6505. Again, 573-200-6505. As everyone pretty much knows, DeMarco Murray had to have surgery on his hand this week after being a part of the big battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, in which the Cowboys won on the road 38-27. Speculation around potentially young Mr. Murray possibly missing the game or maybe making the game, depending on how he feels. Everybody has had a chance to weigh in on this. The pundits have weighed in on it. But the one man we haven't heard from was Jerry Jones. And Jerry Jones spoke recently to 103.3 The Game in regards to the status of the future All-Pro running back.
He's got a lot of game and parts of his game that work. Protection, what he does, frankly, with that hand when he's running with the ball, usually carries it in his right hand. So all of those things, it's conceivable to me. It's not unrealistic. It could work with him being ready.
Yep, Jerry being Jerry, I must say. So it'll probably almost be a game-time decision on whether that will happen. But, of course, as DeMarco Murray goes, so does the Cowboys in their running game, which pretty much has been on fire. One man who started on fire and unfortunately has to be cooled off, no thanks to the dreaded ACL injury, was number 2 overall NBA pick Jabari Parker. He tore that ACL last night and is done for the season. And his dad, someone that I know very well, Sonny Parker, a former NBA guy himself, is just shaking his head like, wow. There went that down the drain. But I think people have seen enough of the 25 games that Jabari has played in to understand that he's going to be the face of the Milwaukee Bucks franchise for a good minute. This is just a little bit of a setback. I would rather him take the time off, rehab the knee. Don't rush back. You know, you're out for the season. You're out for the season. All right. But when you come back, son, come back strong. Get ready to bang, because folk respect you. The folk in this league respect you, son. Best believe that. As we mentioned here on yesterday, Bo Pelini now the head coach at Youngstown State. Pelini, who, by the way, is a Youngstown, Ohio native, had no problem blasting out at his former employer, saying, quote, "I believe that I have a great situation here. Have tremendous athletic director, a president who understands football, who's going to support me, something that I don't know I ever had." Shots fired. Woo! Pelini spent the last 7 seasons under Nebraska Chancellor Harvey Perlman, who has led the school since 2001. Perlman said he fully supported athletic director Sean Eichhorst's decision to fire Pelini, even though Pelini was 67-27 overall. Despite 9 or 10-win seasons in each of Pelini's years on the job, he also wished Pelini well in a prepared statement, saying, quote, "Pelini's records in the games that mattered contributed to his dismissal, but also that some off-field expectations were not met." Now, everything directed at Nebraska by Pelini was not all, let's just say, negative. Pelini did praise former Nebraska coach and athletic director Tom Osborne, saying Wednesday he would lean heavily on Matt Tressel, who's the president of Youngstown State. Excuse me, it's Jim Tressel. He'd lean on him heavily as far as guidance is concerned. Pelini added, quote, "I have a great administration and a community. I believe in wholeheartedly. It sets up a great environment for me to work in and a great environment for my family to live in and a great place to call home. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come back here." Hey, you can always go home again. The afternoon locker room presented by Gigahertz. This portion presented by Clarion Hotel of Michigan City. For reservations, call 1-800-CLARION. The NHL has issued a new memo on prevention of the mumps. Yeah. Apparently, whatever the heck is going on out there at Honda Center in Anaheim has got a whole gang of folk under the weather, among them Sidney Crosby, who has now since cleared the mump stage. The league initially sent a memo to all 30 teams in November, one that was pretty basic and similar to the type disseminated during any flu outbreak. However, they just sent another league-wide memo this Tuesday, though the basis of the information and the recommended treatment guidelines have not changed. The memo did outline a more definitive protocol in handling such situations. In this time around, the mumps. 15 players from 5 teams had been diagnosed with the mumps. 3 of those from the Penguins. Wow. What in the heck is going on with the mumps here? And again, apparently it's centering around the Honda Center in Anaheim. Several NHL teams, including the Flames, Wild, Islanders, and Hurricanes, have decided to postpone their visits to Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh, which is apparently another part of this outbreak. Man, it just never ends. Well, folk just got to watch out what they do. You know, the league told you what you got to do, so do it. Which brings us to our topic du jour, presented by Strack and Van Til grocery stores of Chicago and in Northwest Indiana. This past Sunday, when the Cleveland Browns hosted the Cincinnati Bengals, the Browns' Andre Hawkins came onto the field during pregame with a simple t-shirt. Justice for Tamir Rice and John Crawford. One was a local 12-year-old who was shot by police after handling a toy gun. He was shot dead. John Crawford is the young man who was shot in a Walmart for handling a toy gun himself. Since then, his girlfriend has been harassed. Now, people would have brushed this off as, okay, hey, he's joining the bunch of everybody protesting. Well, that isn't how the Cleveland Police Union saw it. Apparently, the Cleveland Police Union is saying that Mr. Jenkins owes them an apology. Well, strangely enough, Hawkins decided to address the Cleveland Police Union and was very respectful about it. As a matter of fact, he didn't even berate the police at all, which I find amazing considering the circumstances. He did mention that, there are some friends and family amongst his ranks that are also police officers. And he said basically, there are some good police officers in this country that deserve some praise about what they do because they actually do live up to protecting and serving. It is the other officers who unfortunately take a little bit too much license, depending on what circumstance it is, that are the ones that might be offended by the t-shirt. He also added that his son, the one that you probably saw in the YouTube video that he had left outside the house and then later brought back in, and he mentioned that what happens to Tamir Rice, he wakes up in nightmares and say that could have been his son, and it said it scares the heck out of him. I don't blame him. For a league that is predominantly black and has some of its members making some quiet noise on the protest front as of late. It's interesting that the police union wants this particular gentleman to apologize. Here's my challenge to the Cleveland Police Union. Instead of making this man apologize for wanting to make a statement about justice, why don't you apologize to your black rank and file for putting them in the midst of this? Not just the Cleveland ones, but the St. Louis ones. Your black rank and file police officers are in the middle of a firestorm, and unfortunately, a lot of them are at wit's end to figure out which way to go. Why? Unfortunately, their Caucasian counterparts are doing something that deep down in their hearts they know is wrong. Unfortunately for them, because they wear the badge, they too are targeted. So for those of you who want somebody who is using a shirt to protest, to apologize to your